Welcome to a Healthy Living video blog, episode number 79. You're watching us at workoutmaster.com. This is Ruben.
Aram.
Today we're going to talk about something that people think pretty much saved the humanity. We're going to talk about antibiotics and a positive and negatives part of antibiotics. Let's tear this one apart. Ruben, go right ahead.
The antibiotics, they're widely used and abused with not only with humans, but actually with animals. If we look at the statistics, 3/4 of all the antibiotics that are produced for consumption, actually they go to be used with cattle, chickens, you name it. Why? Because they live in deplorable conditions and they oftentimes get sick. Well, as human, we're not doing a better job sometimes as far as bettering our human arrangements, and we fell prey of contracting sometimes viral, bacterial infections. And sometimes those antibiotics are needed, but many times actually they're overprescribed.
Absolutely. What happened is when we discovered antibiotics, it was a big breakthrough. I mean, people received Nobel Prizes for that. It was huge, saved a lot of people. But it is very important to understand something about antibiotics. Antibiotics, like we talked about probiotics, probiotics is for life, antibiotics against life, so it kills the bacteria. That's basically the whole thing about antibiotics. The important part, when it kills bacteria, it kills all kind of bacteria. Now, even though we're human, we do have a lot of bacteria living inside of our body, as we talked in our probiotic episode. You pretty much have about 3 to 4 pounds of beneficial bacteria inside of your digestive tract.
That's correct.
So that's a lot of bacteria. When you take a probiotic, you generally kill them all, or at least major part of it, and that creates a trouble. Even though you get rid of what's the bacteria that are harmful for you, you also get rid of a lot of good bacteria. So it has an ability to create what's called dysbiosis, and after that your body starts getting colonized by bad bacteria, and eventually you might end up having some trouble. So I always say, we're not the doctors, we're not here to prescribe antibiotics, we're just here to talk about your particular health. And since antibiotics are all over the place on the market these days, it's very important to understand few things. Number one, antibiotics are good only if it's a life-threatening situation, in my opinion. They're way overprescribed for absolutely simple things that they don't need to be prescribed for. It's actually, I read the statistic, they say about 70% of antibiotics prescribed for upper respiratory conditions, which generally do not really need antibiotics.
Well, and this is the thing that people sometimes make the mistake of not recognizing. If you have some type of an infection, you have to recognize whether it's bacterial or viral. If it's a viral infection, an antibiotic is not going to do a damn thing about it.
Yeah, if you have just a regular common cold, what's the point of taking an antibiotic?
It's a virus induced. It's not caused by the bacteria. So there again, you're just putting your body through a lot of stress for no specific agenda, because it's not going to do anything against the virus that you have.
So another very important thing about antibiotics, the bacteria itself is not dumb. I mean, it might be a very small cell, but it is designed to survive regardless of anything. So when we abuse antibiotics, the bacteria itself gets a lot smarter, and we basically created what's called antibiotic resistant strains of bacteria. That right now, medical profession talks a lot about it because it is a problem. We have a bacteria that we truly don't know how to kill, so that's a big issue.
Well, they begin to mutate and to adapt to the new conditions that they're facing, and what happens is eventually that anything that you can throw at them, except for fire, will not kill them.
Absolutely. I am a big fan of training the immune system like you would train your body. You want it to let or give it a chance to fight the bacteria as much as possible, and definitely not abuse really powerful things like antibiotics. And we got to remember, even if you don't take antibiotics, like Ruben said, antibiotics come from, a lot of times, from your plate, from your meat that you consume. So it's very important to buy the best quality food. That way you're not getting that antibiotic excess coming into your body, because they pretty much treat, they treat it they treat not diseased or sick cattle, but they treat just so the cattle would not die. Yeah,
Well,
just to keep them alive.
If you want to know the exact, reason why they do it, is for the animal to be able to walk into the truck that's going to bring them into the slaughterhouse.
That's pretty much what it is.
They can walk into the truck.
Just a safety. Make sure that they stay alive.
And do not contaminate the animals, which doesn't.
Absolutely.
But anyway, the point trying to be made, when you make a decision whether to take an antibiotic or not, make sure that you have an informed decision to make. So read the facts. We cannot state them all because we will sit in here in front of the computer for 10 hours and frankly it's quite a boring subject, but it's very important because it affects your health directly. Now the other thing, as we mentioned on a couple episodes ago about probiotics, is very important that as you finish taking that course of antibiotics, is that you give yourself a massive dosage of probiotics to restore the beneficial intestinal flora that is required for you to have a normal digestive function.
Absolutely. Remember, the side effects of antibiotic treatment could be something like diarrhea, inflammation in your gut. So anytime that you have any kind of digestive related issue, then it might be coming from antibiotic use. Another very important thing, that even though we think antibiotics saved like humanity in general, but a lot of times now researchers talk about that it's possibly created a whole another set of problems, because who knows why the diseases start in the first place. There's really no true agreement on that subject. And one of the discussions right now going on, that antibiotics may actually create the trouble in the first place. When you kill all the bacteria in your gut, the bad bacteria colonize it, and that can start a disease process, which eventually can turn into something very big and powerful that probably has an ability to kill you. So it is iffy. I would always question a doctor to make sure that they're prescribing that stuff properly. Definitely take probiotics. Anything else, Ruben?
I think that will pretty much cover all the subjects. If you have questions and concerns, please send us an email. We'd love to hear from you. And like I said, do the research on your own. Challenge everything you hear. You're gonna go to to websites such as Google, and you're gonna find all the benefits and all the detriments of using antibiotics. You make your decision. This is a free country after all, so exercise that freedom.
Absolutely. And remember, it's a big money business, so there's a lot of information on the market provided by companies that make the antibiotics.
Of course.
By the way, a lot of them have been taken off the market in the last few years because they cause quite a serious health challenges for a majority of people.
Yes.
Excellent resource to read about antibiotics or fungus in general. A couple of books by Doc Kaufman, The Fungus Link 1 and 2 are excellent. And 3.
She's got 3.
Okay, so 3 books, excellent read if you're interested in that stuff. Thank you very much for watching our video blog. Remember, your future looks better already. And until the next time.